Actress Lindsay Lohan is supposed to be in court this morning, but she's not going to be there.
Her attorney says she's stuck in France. She says Lohan can't make it to the courthouse on Burton Way near Crescent Drive in Beverly Hills because she doesn't have her passport.
Jay Berman is a highly acclaimed mediator and talk show host. He offers expert advice on conflict resolution and celebrity and entertainment disputes.
He's president of the American Institution of Mediation. Welcome.
Glad to be here.
You know, I don't follow her story that closely, but every time I hear about her, she's in trouble. I'm sick of it. I can't imagine how sick of it the judge must be.
Judge is very sick of it. This is the same judge who in October extended her and gave her more time to comply and is hearing reports that she is in substantial compliance but hasn't attended all of the courses she's been offered to attend.
The concern here is, of course, that if you or I happened to be in France or overseas and had to be back for a court meeting or appointment and we didn't show up, our butts would be thrown in jail. Is there preferential treatment being allowed for her?
I don't know that it's preferential. I think this judge is pretty fed up with it. The judge has a lot of options about what she's going to do with Lindsay and what she's going to order. But in this case, I think she's being held to the same standard that we would be held. We're just hearing about it more because it's the chain of events that we're used to seeing.
And through your involvement with celebrities, it seems to me that some of them feel entitled.
Oh, yes.
With your experience with some of these folks, when they're in a legal situation like this, what is their attitude that you encounter?
I think they expect the world, to a certain extent, to wait for them. And, you know, gosh, I was having a really good time in Cannes. I'm not ready yet to come back. Or my passport is lost or stolen or something like that. And I think she expects that the judge will understand that and doesn't understand that the judge has the final say.
This hearing is scheduled this morning for 8:30.
8:30 this morning.
She's not going to be there.
She's not.
Her lawyer will be.
Her lawyer will be, and I understand her father is supposed to be showing up to plead with the judge to put her back into rehab.
Jay Berman, we'll have you back at 8 o'clock or actually around the 8:30 hour. We'll see what happens then.
Terrific.
Thanks so much,
Thanks
Lindsay.
Thank you.
As we've been reporting all morning, Lindsay Lohan is expected in court this morning. One problem. Oh, yeah, she's stuck in Europe.
Joining us now is mediator and talk show host Jay Berman. He's the president of the American Institution of Mediation. Sam Rubin here as well. Here's my question to you. As a mediator, you often hear from both sides.
Right.
You might suggest a course of action.
Sure.
What would you do in this case?
In this case, I would sit down first with the judge and find out just how upset she is. And she's got a right to be pretty upset, especially after the clip we saw at the top of the hour where she warned Lohan not to thumb her nose at the court anymore. And then I'd sit down with Lindsay and make sure she understands the gravity of what she's done and coach her a little bit on how she's going to step into this and what she's going to do when she does get that time in front of the judge to make her case.
I am by no means a Lindsay Lohan apologist, but sometimes weird things do happen to us. You know, I've had some serious situations happen to me when I've been overseas.
Sure.
Could there be any legitimacy to this? And could she be following the right course of action, say, if her passport was indeed lost?
She could. And we have this bias because we know what her history is. So we all tend to say, oh, here she goes again.
Right.
And you're absolutely right, Michaela. It could very well be that her passport was stolen and she's trapped in France and waiting for the consulate to turn around a new passport, which takes a while. That's why the judge has to issue a bench warrant to get her back here so she knows it's serious, and then has to have her appear, look her in the eye, and decide for herself if she's telling the truth.
In layperson's terms, without any of the legalese, I think people perceive, and I don't think it indicates a bias necessarily, Lindsay's a mess. and I think sometimes it's like, why doesn't the system help her, if by force, by force?
Exactly, and it's got to start by force, and then you can make decisions that perhaps rehab is a better option. Or she's been ordered to attend these alcohol education programs and has attended most of them. So she's following some of the rules and she's starting to get it, but we've got to tighten the reins on her a little bit.
Yeah, and if you want to help someone, that person has got to want that help.
It's got to start with you.
Yeah. Well said.
Jay Berman is a talk show host and a mediator. He's joined us here to talk about this case that is before the judge today. Eric Spillman is down at the courthouse, and we hope to get word from him on what is actually happening there. We understand that Michael Lohan, Lindsay's father, is down there, so we'll try to bring you a report later on this hour.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Well, let's turn to our expert on mediation.
You are Switzerland, really.
Oh, there's not a case that has gone unsolved when I'm on the... as I always say, I'm not happy until both parties aren't happy. Let's have a look. That's what happens, right?
You can take that line, Lee.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if one walks away happy and the other doesn't.
Says.
Thank you very much. Let's have a look at what is going on.